Hey everyone, my name is Paul Joseph Russell, but you can just call me Joe. I've embarked on a journey to write my first novel, in fact, a trilogy of novels called Rivendoah. I live with my husband Richard on 6 acres of land nestled in the wilds of Virginia, and every Monday I post a video sharing the progress of my writing as well as projects on our little stretch of land. Today I'll be discussing the motivations of my main protagonist in Rivendoah. And for this week's project, I'll be repairing an antique Barrister bookcase. So I hope you'll join me on my adventures in living as a writer and an artist. Hey, in case you missed it, you can go here for part 1 of this video. Hey everybody, welcome back to this week's video, which is a continuation of my Broken Heroes and Barrister Bookcases video. Today I've taken you all down to the garage where I have a little bit of a workshop set up here. And I'll be working on cutting, building, and then staining the 2 tops I'm going to have for the Barrister cabinets. I got this wood from the hardware store. Nice piece of straight flat wood. Looks like pine probably, which should work fine for this. In addition, I got this milled edging, which I'm going to be using along the top. I'll show you that up close. It's got a nice design here, which sort of I think will work with the rest of the cabinets. What I need to do for the wood is measure out the exact size of the top. I'll use my circular saw to cut it down. And then once I have that complete, I'll give it a good sanding. And then I'm going to be using my miter box, which I have over here, and we'll be sawing a beveled edge on this edging wood so that I can have 2 pieces that come together. I can do a nice beveled edge there, if you can see. So once I get 3 pieces, I'm going to have one on the front and 2 on the sides that are the same size. I'll put the bevel together and then glue it, put in some pin nails, and that should complete putting it together. When the entire top is assembled, glued, and nailed together, and it's dried, I'm going to come in with 3 different stains. I couldn't find one that was like an exact match to the wood color upstairs, so I'm going to sort of try a little bit of this and a little bit of that until I get the right tone that I'm looking for. I'll probably do a couple different layers. With stain, you put it on and you wipe it off, and you put it on and you wipe it off until you get just the right level of stain that you're looking for. I'm going to be matching something that's probably 100 years old. So it'll be a little bit tricky, but I feel confident I can do it. Then once that's complete, I'll probably give it a very, very light sand, and then put a coat of polyurethane on it to seal it. And at that point, I'll take them upstairs, lay them in place, and show you what they look like. But for now, let's go ahead and let's get the wood started. I'm going to go ahead and get out my circular saw, and we'll cut this wood, and that will be the first thing we need to do today. So why don't you go ahead and join me, and we'll go ahead and get started. Here's some more remnants of Hurricane Ida. It just won't stop raining. All right, well, I let it sit overnight. I got it glued together, got my pin nails in to hold it in place, and I also went in with some wood fill and filled in some of the corner gaps in here. My mitering skills were not quite that good. My 45-degree angle did not come out quite as I hoped, but a little wood fill has done the trick. I'm going to sand this now, and then I'll go ahead and begin the staining process. One thing I did want to point out was this is a little trick I used. When I glued it together, I did it upside down, of course, and I laid it on top of this 1/8" piece of plywood so that when it was laying down, it had the main board had something to rest on, and that it would give me this little lip all the way around. I don't know if you can see that right here, but it has a nice little lip that'll keep things from falling off the top. So I think it's very successful. I'm gonna go ahead and do the sanding here, kind of smooth that out a little bit, and then I'll set up the stains, and we'll go ahead and get started on that. Nurse, pass the Minwax, please. All right, got the first coat on. Now I'll probably come in with a second coat of the same color, get a little bit darker. And then I think what I'm gonna do is come in with that cherry wood finish and before I do the polyurethane. But I'm actually thinking I'm looking pretty good. The tone is a little bit more brown than the wood upstairs on the cabinet. Needs a little bit of a red tone, but I think I'm pretty close. So I'm gonna wrap up here. I'll probably let this dry overnight, do the 2 more coats, and then go ahead and when I have it complete and it's dry, I'll share with you putting this piece onto the top of the cabinet. I'm probably going to go ahead and complete the second one also, and probably won't bring you along for all of that. But when I get the 2 complete and they are finished, we'll go ahead and take it upstairs. Well, while I'm waiting for this to dry, I think I'll go ahead and talk a little bit more about my broken heroes. One thing I am aware of is that I know that the broken hero can be a writing trope, especially if the source of the character's trauma is written superficially. I believe I can write this with a certain amount of authority because I have had personal experience with home invasion and the terrible crime of murder. It is something that I experienced and saw firsthand. I have felt the effects and the psychic trauma it leaves behind, and it is because of these experiences that I was that led me to write Rivendoah and to make this story, because I wanted to take those experiences and do something positive with them. So I hope I can write Graham as a believable character whose actions make sense in the context of the story, the fictional story of Rivendoah. I kind of believe that Graham's brokenness is his superpower. The loss of innocence, his distrust of others, his experiences with PTSD and hypervigilance make him particularly well suited to fight evil. He is prepared to fight fire with fire, which is kind of how I think about it. And finally, I feel like Graham's deep well of rage is an antidote to the paralyzing fear inflicted on others by the book's evil antagonist, Malcolm Sutton. Gray's anger actually, and his knowledge of the world inoculates him from this terror that's inflicted on people and subdues them, and is the greatest weapon wielded by Sutton, the antagonist in Rivendoah. In this trilogy, I hope to explore the counterbalance of innocence versus knowledge, the power of a pure heart weighed against the efficacy of a bitter experience. The heroic characters in Rivendoah will fall into one of these two categories. They are either innocents or they are those with bitter knowledge and experience. And hopefully the tension between these two characters and group of characters will be an engaging tension that will make the reading of Rivendoah more exciting, have more depth. I hope the feelings and experiences and the things I have seen with my own eyes will give the writing the depth to overcome the fact that I am a first-time writer and I'm going to be making lots of mistakes. It's also very important to me that I give justice and do honor to the people and experiences that I have had and the people who lost their lives, who were friends and neighbors of mine in my family. As I've mentioned in other videos, I'm also writing something called Rivers Dark, which is autobiographical in nature and is a collection of stories based on my own personal experiences that I've kind of woven, hopefully will be weaving together. And when I talk about that, I can, because I'll be talking about Rivendoah some, and then I'm going to be talking about Rivers Dark some, and some short stories that I'm writing in different videos. And hopefully when I'm writing about those Rivers Dark and my own personal experiences, I can give maybe a little bit more background on some of that, some of those things that have happened in my life that influence and affect my writing. Well, I guess that kind of wraps up my discussion today. As usual, at the end of each video, I ask that if you like the content of this video, you can give it a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that yet, and tap that bell icon to get notifications of the upcoming videos, and notifications of other things happening on my AuthorTube channel here on YouTube. With that, I'm gonna go ahead and say goodbye, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Wait, I almost forgot. I want to show you guys the cabinet tops. I just put them in place, which you can see here, and now I'm gonna do the big reveal with everything in place. Let's see if we can use a little video magic. Okay, everybody. Hope you enjoyed. See you in the next video.